Savage bomber?
Songitto said hi.
Yo man, you are straight away first. This is this shit. The save point. You know what? I wanna like yeah. Yeah, a bit further with this shit. Kurwa mać. Okay, wait. I need to switch some. Okay, stream chodzi. The camera is fucked. Fuck no. Need to restart it. Second. Man, I need to seriously invest in better setup. Okay, so it's not this one. Oh, you son of a bitch, kurwa. Hmm. Why, why did it happen like this? Okay, I almost did it. Okay, I should be able to play. Ugh. Yes. Okay, go here. So closer to finished. Mhm. Was here. Yo, hello, folks. Hmm. For sure I need something to clean this. But what? Oh. Hard to tell. Elevator has no power. Is this? Kurwa! Ooh. That's what I was thinking. Okay. No. Do I have to go again up? We have power. I'm sorry. Can I get a map of this fucking place or not? And... yeah. What the fuck is that? System is not powered. What an abomination. Is it alive? Mm-hmm. Man, what the fuck are those things? A large fit of some kind of beast is complete. Syringe. Okay. O kurwa! I'm not... Good. Kurwa, there is still a lot of to do. Ja pierdolę. Bastard. Kurwa, I knew this thing's gonna go. Oh. Yeah. Kurwo! Bastards. Incinerator. The fuck is that? Okay, makes sense. I need to see speedrunner. Kurwa, what? The worst thing, I was thinking that it's gonna happen, yeah? I'm gonna get jump scared because like this place looks too creepy. And then I start fucking talking and I got fucking this guy. Oh my god. Why the fuck things happen to me? Do not enter. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Ain't no way, I didn't finish everything.
Finally, the chosen ones are both here. It is just as you foretold, my Lord Nautilus. The Wild Burger twins have come to set you free.
Give me back my sister, Lucia. We're not taking part in this twisted resurrection.
Poor child, you think you can resist what has already been decided.
What the fuck? Why? Ja pierdolę. Hmm.
At Linny9G said hello.
Yo. Hello. How are you doing? How is everything? Ja pie... That's bullshit.
At Linny9G asks okay, and how are you?
I'm good. Jasne. It's your first time here? There you go. What kind of... I don't know what to say. Welcome to non-commentary channel. Oh Boże.
At Kazumi Mishima 90k said subs song.
Yo, Kazumi.
At Linny9G said forgive me, but I can't understand you without Google Translate _carrot.
Okay.
Songitto asks what country do you live?
Kurwa, I'm sick and tired of... Kurwa. Whole section I could do better.
At Lenny9G asks Kazakhstan and you?
Kazakhstan.
Songitto said Netherlands.
Oh yeah, so if you are from Kazakhstan, yeah, I'm running away. I'm not fighting those boss. I don't have enough. Okay, so that's no. Let's go back there. Something comes and scares me there. Laboratory. I'm expecting a tape.
At Linny9 she said the scariest thing is when you swipe your card and it says access denied, and there's a monster behind you.
Fantastic. Collect all Mother Lucia diaries entry. Cool. I knew it. Okay. The only thing I'm missing is jump scare from here. No jump scare. Is it here? Hmm? Play. Oh no! Demonetize. God damn it. Why they have to put this like that? Do I do something else here or this is all?
At Linny9 she said don't be afraid, I closed the YouTube admin's eyes. Face with tears of joy emoji.
Well, like that's not my scientist. Like I didn't do it on purpose. It. Okay.
TT underscore Milkus 420 said yo what's good.
Yo, I'm about to finish this game. Yo, milkers. I am thinking I'm close to the boss fight.
At Linny9G asks, do you play on Xbox or PlayStation?
I play on PlayStation. Oh.
At Linny9G said and you are rich underscore carrot.
Underscore carrot. I would not say I'm rich. Let me write to thank you. What?
Songitto said thank you but I'm not rich. TT_Milkus 420 said Song is Andrew Tate's cousin.
Kinda I wanna save this, no.
TT_Milkus 420 said he has a basement full of women Kappa.
Yeah, they are all doing camera work.
Atlini9G said it's just that here, those who bought a PlayStation or an Xbox are considered rich. Grinning face with sweat emoji.
Yo, that's wild. That's crazy. No, like buying PlayStation here is the...
TT_Milkus 420 said console gamers think gaming PCs are more expensive. Songitto said and here they call you poor.
Yeah, it's how it's called? Brokey. That you are a brokey if you buy console here. And now I can go, but I'm gonna be pissed. Urva. This is me off. Ay, 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 ay. I kinda wanna save all the ammo I have. Do I have enough? Jacqueline, Blair, Darkness. Jacqueline, Blair, Darkness. Crazy name. What a bastard. No kurde. Kurwa mać. I don't wanna use shotgun all the time. No yo! Caution. Kurwa. Like all of this fucking bastard, they were not here. Ancient temple. Yo, you fucking kidding. Give some healing item, please. Church. Let's get it on. Is there anything else I can get here? I wonder, last time I died here. Hell yeah. Let's...
Finally, the Chosen Ones are both here. It is just as you foretold, my Lord Nautilus. The Wild Burger twins have come to set you free.
Give me back my sister, Lucia. We're not taking part in this twisted resurrection.
Poor child, you think you can resist what has already been decided.
I'm not infected with your puppet virus. Your mind control tricks won't work on me.
I don't need the virus to control you, Caroline. I've been pulling your strings all along.
Nice
You're
face.
delusional.
Am I? See how the flesh of Nautilus beats fiercely within its confinement? That's all thanks to you, my child. Remember the 4 entities you killed. Pighead and Dr. Hearts, the Iron Maiden and the Harvester. Each of them was a vessel that held a fragment of the soul of our Lord Nautilus. Only you could have made that journey to the other side and broken open those vessels, Caroline.
What?
You played your part perfectly.
Yeah.
And now my plan is almost complete. Those soul fragments are reunited here within the seed of Nautilus. And his essence is poised to bring salvation upon our realm.
Haven't you seen the effect that thing has already had on this town? Is that the salvation he'll bring to the rest of the world?
I shall be the guide and emissary. I have taken steps to harness his infinite power.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
come, join your sister. I need you and Anna both to activate the mechanism that will awaken our Lord. You are the heirs of the blood of the ancient guardians, and this is your destiny.
Forget it. You can't make me.
You're trying my patience, young lady. Do as I say, or I'll make your sister open her throat from ear to ear.
Stop! Fine. I'll do it. Just don't hurt her, please.
Just step up to the pedestal and place your hand on the touchstone. You have been a loyal handmaiden to the cause so far.
TT
And
Lucas 420 just redeemed Vine Boom.
Find Nautilus ungrateful in the bright future you bring to pass.
This is madness. What makes you think you can harness this demon?
The puppet virus has been injected into the seed and is already assimilating with his essence. I shall hold the reins of his will just as firmly as I do Anna's.
Do you ever listen to yourself, Lucia? I don't think you have any concept of what you're dealing with here.
Hush now, child.
Hush.
Now it's your turn. Place your hand upon the touchstone. Do it now.
You'll regret this.
Oh, Lord Nautilus, rise from your eternal slumber.
It's every time.
I am your loyal
Some wicked witch trying to resurrect some fucking bastard from hell.
Unjust exile.
And he gonna kill her.
Now is the time to shine
At
your
Linny
light
9G said
upon the
GG.
world. Strike
Thanks, Linny.
down this blasphemer!
Anna! mistake, demon. I'll send you
TT
straight back to
underscore
the other
Milkus
side.
420 said what a surprise.
Who could have thought about this? Or what the...
At Linny9 she said I believe in you underscore carrot.
Underscore car. Kurde, I don't... Evo, Hans sposób.
At
Oh,
Linny9 she said my faith has dried up frown.
yo, relax. I just need to figure it out a little bit.
At Linny9 she said grinning face with sweat emoji. Jacqueline underscore Blair Darkness said pew 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 pew.
Hello.
Jacqueline underscore Blair Darkness just followed.
Thank you for the follow. Excellent.
Jacqueline underscore Blair Darkness just redeemed Vine Boom.
But this is gonna be a little bit difficult. Then we can skip on this.
At Linny9G said the very same main boss whom the screenwriter forbids from killing the main character grinning face with sweat emoji.
Aye, aye. This is gonna be hard.
Jacqueline_Blair Darkness said hello, greetings from Chile. I'm playing it too, but this stretch is really difficult. Good luck getting through it.
Oh, thanks. And let me follow you on Twitch. Yeah, and also I'm out of items. Okay. I followed you on Twitch. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make this one. Ah, for fuck's sake. There is a way to do it better.
At Linny9G said no.
No, I can load the save from here and just get past those monsters without using the... Yeah, I can do this better. Just don't use any ammunition and just go past them. Then I have more ammo. I was thinking about it, that this is how it's gonna be.
Jacqueline_Blair Darkness said, did you like the game? It was created here in my country, Chile. I feel very proud, smiling face with hearts emoji.
Really? I like the first one and no, I like the game. A little bit difficult with the puzzles. Puzzles were very difficult. But the game I like. I do enjoy it. Very nice horror. Chile? Wait. No, Azucena is from Peru. So I need to try run past those bastards. And don't use ammunition on them. And then I can save this shit. So we go like this. Yeah, I don't care. Maybe not like this. Hey, you like wait. Tormented Souls 2. 2 was made. Yeah. Yes, Tormented Soul made by Chilean studio Dual Effect, which is based in Cuilpo, Chile. Development team consists of about 10 people, all of whom are from Chile. Wow. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Nice. Nice, really, like 10 people.
At Linny9G said your fans love you, why are you running away from them? _carrot.
Which... What? I'm not running away. Oh my god, what is... Trying to fix some things. Okay, I'm going. Sorry for running away. Do you mean the monsters are... Should I waste... Yeah, maybe I should. One shot per... Feel very proud. Man, guys, you need to engage with conversation with me. Okay, that doesn't matter, okay? Wait. No way, fucking hell, man. That's the best I can do. But there is nothing else here.
Jacqueline_Blair Darkness said the puzzles were tricky, the lack of ammo also made the enemies harder, but you have to get to the end no matter what, ha ha ha.
Yeah, the standard difficulty is really like it's yeah, it's challenging. It's not that super hard. Edgar's Lab. Okay. I need to finish the game. It's the final boss. Kurde!
God damn it.
Ja pierdolę. Fuck. Hey. I just need to get better. So how many shots? I guess I'm saving the shotgun for the last cycle. Okay. Yo. Oh. It's gonna go this time. Oh shit. Yo. I'm at caution. Fuck. Kurwa mać. Ojej. Yeah, 2 more shots. Come on. Nice. Okay. Come on, get it. Oh shit! Come on, one more shot. Oh, yeah. Kurwa, I'm in fucking danger. Okay, just don't get hit. Oh fuck! No fuck, I knew it! I knew I should first jump off. Kurwa. Ay, ay, ay. But I know. I can do this. Just like... Probably it's this turn. Ja pierdolę. Ja pierdolę. Ja pier... No. Ja pierdolę. Fucking controls. That's bullshit, kurwa. Kurwa. course. Why he did something else? I was expecting something else. I go toilet, what's it? Oh, this is painful. I was thinking maybe I play Tekken. Oh. Oh. Hee 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 hee. Kurwa. What? No how, kurwa, if this continues. What the? No bullshit. No kurwa mać! No yo!
At Sotos Super Saiyan 4 said Songitto my friend.
Hello, Soto. Oh, you bastard. It's the end, kurwa. Bastard. Last moment. There we go. Go there!
Go back to the Abyss, Hellspawn. And give my regards to Lucia.
Hurrah! Funk. Oh, did I get bad ending? Laborator. Ooh. Yeah, makes sense that the skeleton has hair, you know? Top quality detail. Futile. Finish the game getting the bad ending. Ooh. Survivor. End the game on standard mode. Playtime. Ending bad files collected. Good game, but I don't know if I'm gonna play on. I unlocked something and I don't know what it is. Okay. Like.
A tape recorder. I'm gonna record my name. She doesn't. Please keep my head.
Okay. This is done. I might jump on the rank, but wait. Yeah, let's watch something. Let's watch some shit again. Oh. One second.
Hello and welcome to the latest installment of Law & Order, the video series where I look at and unpack stories from games. In this one we'll be looking at the story from Tormented Souls 2. This game is a direct sequel to the first game from 2022, features improved mechanics along with improved graphics, and I would like to thank Dual Effect and PQ for sponsoring this video and for also giving me early access to this game. I did cover the first game on the channel, so go and check out that video if you want to know what happened in that game. I will be recapping the outline of the first game's story just to start this video off. PQ have also kindly given me 3 Steam keys, so I'll be doing a giveaway and you can enter via the pinned link in the comments below. Lastly, please be aware there will be spoilers in this video for both games, but with that in mind, let's begin. In December 1994, Caroline Walker received a letter from a John Doe, which contained a picture of two young girls called Anna and Emma Wildberger, which caused a reaction in her, although she does not know why. Going to the abandoned Wildberger Hospital on Blackwood Island in Canada, 2 weeks later in order to find out what happened to the girls, she gets bonked over the head, passes out, and wakes up to find that her right eye has been taken. She also comes across grim monsters there too. Coming across a priest there, he aids her throughout her time exploring the hospital. She finds VHS tapes there and discovers that she has a strange power, which allows her to travel to different points in time and can manipulate the present by changing things in the past. During one of these moments in the past, she finds one of the young girls from the photo, and this is Anna, and Anna explains that she lives there with her mother and father, but that it was her grandfather that had locked her up. Essentially, Caroline discovers that she is the other girl in the photograph, but that she suffered from amnesia and couldn't remember most, if not all, of her childhood, and that at some point she got separated from Anna. So therefore, Anna is her twin sister. Anyway, also in one of these time travels, it appears that Caroline took her own eye, and this was a way to open up a large door that could only be opened up by twins. It's at this point revealed that the old man, the priest, is actually Emma, Caroline, and Anna's grandfather on the mother's side. He's been guiding Caroline to do everything she has done so she can open this door for him. His evil plan, ever since the twins were born, had been to sacrifice the twins so that he could resurrect what he believed to be their savior. He and his cult tried to sacrifice the twins as the cult. The Polyps sect believed twins contained power in their blood, but Emma and Anna's mother found out and managed to escape with Emma. Caroline discovers that in the present day, Anna is mutated into a grotesque monster who, when delivering a serum, changes back to her normal state and dies. Caroline then goes to confront Noah. After Noah gave his life and blood to the resurrection ritual, and after defeating the resurrected monster, Caroline can leave the hospital. She can use a VHS tape to go back in time in order to manipulate it so that Anna was able to escape her captivity by using acid on a chain holding the prison door shut, meaning Anna was able to escape the cell, and Caroline brings her back through the screen and into the present day. Caroline and Anna then escape the hospital. But that's the plot from the first game. Let's now jump into the plot for the second one. Hoping for a normal life with Anna, who she since adopted, Caroline and Anna are on a train and heading somewhere. They're in Chile and heading to a convent. You see, ever since Caroline took Anna from a past timeline, an alternate one, into her current one, Anna has been having visions of death. This is manifested in her zoning out, if you like, and creating quite disturbing drawings that somehow are able to become reality. Arriving at the station in the small remote town of Villa Hesse, they meet Sister Angelica, one of the nuns who live at the convent. Arriving at the convent, Caroline and Anna settle in and have a nap. Waking up a little bit later though, Caroline finds that Anna is gone. Leaving their room, Caroline hears Anna scream, and she runs to her. Entering a small chapel, she finds that Anna is being grabbed by 2 masked nuns. Caroline is grabbed by a very large nun with a hood over her face, and the matriarch of the convent, Mother Lucia, speaks. She says that she will help guide them to their destiny, and she knows about them, that they are the Wildberger twins, and that they've been preparing for their arrival. She says they cannot leave as their grandfather Noah swore a covenant, and that the twins now belong to them. Caroline is choked out by the large nun and wakes up with needles sticking out of her body. Feeling sick, there's no sign of Anna there. Getting her bearings, Caroline just has one thing on her mind: to find her sister and to escape the convent. She also finds that something happens to her when she's in the darkness, but finding a lighter, she's able to navigate the darkened corridors of this place. She also hears one of the nuns get brutally killed. Reaching the chapel from before, she finds it blocked by some sort of demonic force.
TT_Milkers 420 asks, what did I miss? Did she die?
Yeah, like I got the bad ending. I don't know if you saw that. I got the bad ending and she's dead.
And meets an old man in a wheelchair by the name of Joseph. He's a warlock who's from the local area, and he says he knows a way to remove the spell over the door, but will only tell her how to do so if she retrieves a book for him that is being kept in a prison underneath the convent. So, after coming across and fighting various monstrosities in the convent, Caroline is able to access the prison and obtains the book. Delivering it back to Joseph, he tells her that she needs to retrieve the Tears of the Saint from a statue which is itself located within the convent's torture museum, and he gives her a key for it. Inside, well, this is a joyful place. Various methods of torture and execution are displayed here. It seems that some of these torture contraptions have been used very recently. There's also a mirror here, and lighting the correct candles on it, Caroline is able to once again use her ability to shift into an alternative reality. This place, known as the Other Side, is a dark and very grim representation of the real world. Caroline is able to manipulate it to make things change in the real world, and doing so, she uses a plant sprayer to obtain the liquid that Joseph mentioned. Using the red liquid to remove the curse that's blocking the door to the chapel, Caroline enters. Inside, she discovers the large nun who grabbed her before, the Sister Inquisitor, kneeling down with dead nuns surrounding her, and she has a dagger in each eye. Reality then shifts to the alternate one, and Caroline must fight this Iron Maiden. Inflicting some damage to her, this opens up the Iron Maiden helmet on her head, and Caroline stabs a pair of ceremonial daggers into her eyes. After this, she falls down defeated and simply fades away. Sister Angelica is there with her just about clinging on to life, her skin a light shade of purple. She uses her last words to tell Caroline that Anna has been taken to a processing plant in the town, and she then dies. Leaving the convent, Caroline comes out into the town, and she's very surprised to find it in a bad state. It's almost as if the town has been abandoned for a very long time. Exploring a nearby butcher's shop, Caroline is horrified to discover that underneath it, there have been sickening experiments carried out on pigs. Quickly leaving, attempting to find a way to the processing plant, Caroline discovers that the only way to get to it is to pass through a shopping mall, which clearly has a darkness around it. Doing so and encountering odd symbols painted on the walls there, in blood, as well as being attacked by the pigs, Caroline finds her way through it after completing a grotesque ritual involving a strung-up man. Outside and back on the streets, she is held up by a man with a gun. He backs down upon hearing about what Caroline is doing there, and that she's looking for her kid sister. He introduces himself as Miguel. Appears that he too is there looking for someone. He does say as well that there were no children at the processing plant, as he himself has just come from there, and he barely got out alive. He says that he'll keep an eye out for Anna, and he leaves. Approaching the plant, Caroline sees that this place is called the Wildberger and Hess Fish Processing Plant. What connection does her family have to this plant? Noticing more of the same symbols in the area, Caroline moves inside, and once she does, she's effectively locked in, as a barrier is placed on the door. With no option but to carry on exploring, Caroline finds 2 fishermen dead, murdered in their sleep. She also comes across a dormitory with a lot of dead bodies in there. It's almost as if they've been torn apart. Moving into the dormitory bathroom, Joseph is there, and he says that he was the one that killed the fishermen, claiming that they were corrupted, no longer human, and that they'd lost their souls long ago. Again, coming across more monsters, Caroline gains access to the freezer unit of the plant, and in a cell there, she finds a headless body of a young woman, about her own age. She thinks that she may be able to tell her where Anna is, if she's able to go back in time, so upon using a VHS tape, she enters the past, and moves into the cell where she found the dead woman. Moving the cabinet across the vent where the creature that killed the woman would have come out of, entering the cell in the present day, she's in for quite the shock. The young woman is alive thanks to the manipulation of other world events, but turning around, Caroline is shocked to see that it's Anna, but that she is now grown up. She explains to Caroline that she's been there in that dungeon for 14 years. Her skin is purple, similar to how Sister Isabella's looked, and she's not happy that Caroline seemingly abandoned her. Caroline is adamant that it's only been a single day since she last saw her though. Anna tells Caroline that she doesn't seem to have aged a day. Putting Caroline at knife point, Anna locks her in the cell, telling her that she can rot in there. Managing to find a way out, Caroline finds another of Anna's disturbing drawings on the ground, and it's another monster. After finding 3 keys dotted around the plant, she is eventually able to use them to access a long hallway where at the end, she comes across the monster that Anna had drawn in her book. Shifting into the other side, Caroline must fight the monster, and injuring it enough, she loads up a harpoon gun and shoots it a few times, with this finally putting the monster down. Another of Anna's sketches lies on the side, and it features the Hess cemetery, and it also gives Caroline a small hint as to what awaits her there. The monster also drops a circular saw, so attaching it to a blunt chainsaw, she's able to use it to saw through the piece of wood blocking the entrance. Using it to saw through another door blockage, Caroline passes through the waterway, emerging in Hess cemetery. Making her way around the cemetery whilst being accosted by numerous ghosts, she is shocked to discover the graves for both herself and Anna. Despite the shock, Caroline continues on and finds a way into the tomb of Pedro Hertz Hess, a former SS doctor. It acts as an elevator elevator and walking through some tunnels, she finds the long dead body of Pedro Hertzhess. Turns out he's also Lucia's father. Taking a marble sword from his corpse, she uses it to solve a problem and descend in a now operable elevator, which takes her into the ruins which were discovered by Pedro. Mother Lucia is there along with Anna, and Caroline tries to talk to Anna, but Lucia replies that she doesn't hear her. She's lost in her devotion, apparently. Still holding the knife and definitely not herself, Lucia says that she has erased the years between them. They're now the same age, identical twins once more, but how? Lucia continues to talk about destiny and hails someone called Nautilus, to which Anna does the same. She says she gave something to Anna, and it seems that she is under Lucia's control, as she says she's infected with the puppet virus. Anna regains a part of herself, saying to Caroline that she doesn't know what's happening to her, asking her sister to help her. Being forced backwards, Caroline is not looking what's behind her, and she falls down into a hole where she ends up on the other side. She's confronted by Pedro Hess, still in his dusty old coffin. He summons the undead to attack Caroline, but taking all of them down along with old Pedro, she's able to leave this room and comes out in the ruins, finding another of Anna's sketches. This one showing a drawing of the town school. Leaving the cemetery and heading back through the waterway, Caroline travels through a tunnel where she once again discovers Joseph. He tells her that all the roads to the school are blocked off, and the only way to get there is to use old tunnels underneath the town. To get to these tunnels, Caroline will need to go through the creepy dark butcher shop she had previously visited. Taking a sledgehammer, she goes to the butcher shop and smashes a weak wall there, coming out into the aforementioned tunnels. A short way down, however, Caroline, just as she was in the Wellberger Hospital, is whacked on the head again, being knocked unconscious. She wakes up having been placed inside a capsule and is quickly filling up with water. Thankfully, Miguel shows up and saves her. Thanking him, Caroline asks him what year it is, and he replies that it's 2008. Explains why Anna is older, but what about herself? She hasn't aged a single day. Caroline sits down and tells Miguel all about herself and Anna, along with what happened at the Wellberger Hospital back in 1994. After this chat, Miguel and Caroline go their separate ways, and she emerges from the tunnels and into the grounds next to the train yard. Going to the train station, she can see Joseph there being dragged to his demise. As expected, the station is completely deserted. With nothing to see there, Caroline moves on to the nearby school. Just in the plant, Caroline is locked inside the school by a demonic force. Exploring the dark hallways of this abandoned school, she makes it to the basement, finding the janitor's room, and a hand emerges from the TV, with a voice asking Caroline to kill his son. Whoever this is waiting there to have something placed into their hand, so Caroline must go in search of this person's son. Managing to get onto the second floor of the school, Caroline gets saved from certain death by Sister Isabella. Isabella thought Caroline was dead, calling her being there a miracle, saying that she had been placing fresh flowers upon her and Anna's graves every week. She explains that the story was made up, that both Caroline and Anna were caught in a storm and were lost at sea. Lucia told Isabella this and let her carry on for years believing they were dead. What's more is that Lucia and Isabella are sisters. Showing her one of Anna's drawings of a man who is holding cleavers and wearing a pig mask, Isabella tells Caroline that the picture shows the school's archives, but that she should not go there. The man in the picture is known as Pighead, the man who the mysterious person inside the TV wants Caroline to kill. Proceeding with what she needs to do to find Anna, she does briefly come across Pighead, but he shifts into the other side and then very quickly disappears. Is this him simply toying with her? Solving many puzzles in the school, Caroline manages to gain access to the archives and goes through in order to face Pighead. Entering into what seems to be Pighead's bedroom, Caroline is grabbed by him and he chokes her, but she is saved by Miguel, who lodges an unusually large cleaver into his head. Miguel has a bad wound on his neck. He says that he'll be okay for now, but the Pighead hurt Isabella. Caroline tells him to look after her as the environment around them shifts to the other side, and Caroline then fights Pighead. Injuring him, she baits him into ramming into hazards, and he ends up electrocuting himself, eventually dying with his mask falling to the ground. Picking up the mask and returning to the director's office, she finds a drawing by Anna of the church and another drawing of a monster. In the office, she sees Miguel there with a dying Isabella, who with her dying breath says that she has a son named Miguel too. After she's died, Miguel wants to be alone and says that he saw a group of people headed towards the church with a woman who looked just like Caroline. Before she's able to leave, she goes back to the basement and gives the mask to the janitor, and he releases the hole on the doors, and then Caroline gladly leaves the school behind. Gaining access to the church, Caroline is met by Mother Lucia, who has Anna there with her. She shoots Mother Lucia in the head with a nail gun, but this doesn't really affect her. Lucia wants Caroline to follow her down into the depths underneath the church, which is what she calls the true temple where God lies, threatening to kill Anna if she does not do so. Using another mirror to journey to the other side, Caroline is able to gain access to an elevator that takes her very deep underground. She is now in some sort of bunker where she is attacked by infected and deranged people who are inside diving suits. In order to get through a door to the containment area, Caroline now needs to infect herself with the puppet virus, and doing so, she now needs to cure herself of it so that Mother Lucia cannot control her. From the looks of it, many experiments have been carried out in the containment area because test subjects are here, along with a very grim monstrosity. Using a sample of fluids from the monstrosity in the containment area, she now has a serum, and upon finding another VHS tape, she's able to travel back through time, where she finds herself in a cryosleep chamber. That now explains the 14-year time gap. Injecting the IV bag, the serum is administered to her past self, and this allows Caroline to build up an immunity to the puppet virus, meaning that she's managed to cure herself in the present day. Now to go and confront Lucia. Moving down via another long elevator, Caroline finds herself in an ancient temple. It's eerily quiet down here, but approaching the resurrection chamber and entering, she finds Lucia there as expected along with Anna. She attempts to control Caroline, but thanks to the immunity she built up in cryosleep, thanks to the time manipulation, she's unable to. Lucia tells Caroline that she's manipulating her the entire time, using her abilities where she can travel to different dimensions, such as the other side, and forcing her to kill the 4 enemies she's faced: the Iron Maiden in the convent, the Harvester in the processing plant, Dr. Hertz in the cemetery, and Pighead in the school. This place is the Temple of Nautilus, which holds the fallen Nephilim Nautilus, who is yet to be awakened and is currently inside an egg. Each of the enemies she took down contained 1/4, a fragment of the soul of Nautilus, which as a whole is essential for the awakening ritual. Forcing Caroline and Anna to give their blood up into the altar, Nautilus is awakened. Unfortunately for Lucia, the puppet virus has no effect on Nautilus, and she's yeeted back onto some spikes and killed, with Anna being knocked unconscious. Caroline then fights the awakened Nephilim and defeats it by destroying its tentacles and shooting it in the face. This is where the endings come to play. For the bad ending, after Caroline defeated Nautilus, Temple, along with the bunker above, will begin to lock down. With her carrying an unconscious Anna, Caroline is not able to make it out of the bunker in time, and the door closes, with her and Anna being locked inside, possibly forever. Caroline, in desperation to save Anna, places her sister into the cryosleep chamber, and years later, Anna wakes up finding the skeleton of Caroline slumped in the room with her, and the game then ends. In the good ending and the game's true ending, you may recall that Miguel had a wound on his neck and that he was bleeding badly when we left him in the school. Well, after receiving the sledgehammer, Caroline can go back to the convent where she found this weakened wall. Behind that wall is a closed-off wing of the convent, and there's some duct tape inside. Taking the tape to the school before descending into the ancient temple and shifting over to the other side, Caroline can find a robot there in the place where Miguel is in the real world. Taping over the pipe there's bleeding oil from it. This means that in the real world, Miguel has been healed of his injury. Now, before the fight, when Anna is knocked out, Miguel shows up and takes Anna to safety, whilst Caroline fights in the film. Miguel being there means that he, Anna, and Caroline are able to escape the bunker before the door closes. They get to the train station and Anna is not conscious. They will then leave, following the train tracks to the next town where they can leave this nightmare behind them. The game then ends. Okay, so that was the plot for the game, but there's a lot we can find out through diaries left in the town, the convent, cemetery, and the school, so let's dive a little bit deeper.
I can get that good ending.
In the first game, we learned about a tribe called the Tisnuit tribe. This tribe were a group that inhabited Blackwood Island. The game then ends. Now, before the fight, when Anna is knocked out, Miguel shows up and takes Anna to safety, whilst Caroline fights the tape inside. Taking the tape to the school before descending into the ancient temple and shifting over to the other side, Caroline can find a robot there in the place where Miguel is in the real world. Taping over the pipe there's bleeding oil from it. This means that in the real world, Miguel has been healed of his injury. Now, before the fight, when Anna is knocked out, Miguel shows up and takes Anna to safety, whilst Caroline fights in the film. Miguel being there means that he, Anna, and Caroline are able to escape the bunker before the door closes. They get to the train station and Anna is now conscious. They will then leave, following the train tracks to the next town where they can leave this nightmare behind them. The game then ends. Okay, so that was the plot for the game, but there's a lot we can find out through diaries left in the town, the convent, cemetery, and the school, so let's dive.
Yeah, I was thinking why I have duct
In the
tape.
first game, we learned about a tribe called the Tisnuit tribe. This tribe were a group that inhabited Blackwood Island in Canada in the late 15th century, where the first game's events take place. And they carried out sacrificial rituals. They would sacrifice twins in order to offer their blood to an underground god, who they believed would be awakened and would restore duality to the world. They did this because they believed that twins carried magical blood in their veins, which would allow them to communicate with each other through their thought. The prime age for sacrificing these children would be when they reached 10 years old. In the late 1920s, Caroline and Anna's paternal grandfather, Bertram Weilberger, discovered a book on awakening a god, and he revived a sect known as the Pollux sect, who were devoted to bringing light back to this wicked world. The Pollux sect would meet underground in secret and would wear radiation suits and carry giant hammers. They began carrying on what the Tisnuit had been doing in kidnapping children and sacrificing them with an egg that contained their god continuing to grow, which itself would emit an increasing amount of radiation. Hence the suits. Anyway, after failing to force conception of twins that they could sacrifice, they had a stroke of luck, and Anna and Emma were born. Noah would take over as high priest of the Pollux sect after Bertram, and Noah was one of twins himself, and as explained earlier, he is their maternal grandfather of Anna and Caroline. As we also learned earlier in the video, Anna and Emma were separated after their mother was able to save Emma and took her away where she became Caroline Walker. Fast forwarding to after the first game events took place in January 1995, Caroline had been undergoing therapy with Sister Isabella back in Canada. Everything changed when she informed Isabella about Anna and her drawings.
What happens when Anna starts to draw? She starts out fine, just a normal 10-year-old girl drawing a picture. You can watch her mind drift off somewhere else. Her eyes roll back, she's not even looking at the paper, but she's drawing these terrible things. And then, just as suddenly, she's back in the room, behaving like nothing had happened. Last month in art class, she painted a child who was cut in two. When the teacher asked her who was in the painting, she pointed at one of her classmates. I just found out that boy's funeral is next week. He fell on the tracks of the subway and went under a train.
Isabella had told Caroline about the convent and that her sister, the Mother Superior Lucia, ran a clinic that helped troubled children. Little did she know that the sister she was so fond of was a part of the sect, and that woman, who loved to help others, was now following a much darker calling. Whilst in the bunker, we can find notes written by Dr. Nathaniel, and in his first one, he writes about how they had obtained a DNA sample from the Nautilus egg, which they were surprised to find was completely intact. They used it to inseminate an ovum, and it immediately transformed into a large mass that had developed tentacles and a face. It eventually became too big for the area it was in, so they had to transport it to a larger space, and whilst they were transporting it, its tentacles crushed members of the research team who were wearing highly durable radiation suits. Further experiments were carried out on the entity, and at first they considered that it was not conscious, but one day, Dr. Nathaniel heard a scream and found one of the scientists writhing in agony holding her head. It had locked eyes with her. It had locked eyes with Dr. Nathaniel too, and when he went to investigate, he was shown a place beyond time and space, a place beyond what his own mind could even comprehend. A short while later, 3 researchers who locked eyes with the entity had taken their own lives due to the inability to comprehend what they'd been shown. Dr. Nathaniel wasn't as affected, but was still administering sedatives and would see this place every time he closed his eyes. Lucia had told one of the sisters there, Angelica, to help them guide humanity to the next step of human evolution through science and with the Lord's blessing, so she can find herself to the laboratory underneath the church and got to work. Sister Angelica studied the blood of the entity. The sample that she tested was black blood, which had a foul smell to it. The blood cells had nuclei, which was apparently impossible. They were also surrounded by mitochondria, which are organelles that generate chemical energy. Sister Angelica was perplexed and noticed a lot of radiation emanating from it, even more than the levels given off by enriched uranium. Exposure was a concern, but Mother Lucia gave them a sample that counteracted the symptoms of exposure to it, bemusing Angelica as to exactly where Mother Lucia was able to get such a thing from. She would get the formula for this sample from Noah, as in the first game, the Pollux sect members, suffering from radiation sickness, would use it to help them combat the effects of the demon they tried to awaken. Sister Angelica was nonetheless concerned about the long-term effects, though. Nonetheless, she continued on with her research, and one day she obtained a breakthrough after failing in trying to redirect the energy from the mitochondria in the black blood into the organs of test subjects. The breakthrough was entirely by luck, as when Caroline was taken to the bunker and placed in the cryosleep chamber, Angelica took a blood sample. She found that the blood cells contained 2 nuclei, surrounded by thousands of mitochondria. Placing Caroline's blood sample next to the black blood, the radiation levels in the black blood went through the roof, and Caroline's blood began to emit a faint and warm light. After Joseph had researched the Tisnuit tribe, he discovered that the spirit of twins is one single soul split between 2 individuals, and this split released the spiritual blockages that keep spiritual energy dormant. Only by being in the presence of an immensely powerful demonic presence can the energy in the blood be catalyzed, which is why Lucia wanted the twins to use their blood to awaken Nautilus. Later fusing the black blood and Caroline's blood together, Angelica was able to synthesize a virus which would essentially take away the subject's free will, and this was the puppet virus, and how Mother Lucia could control people. The side effects were, as we saw in multiple people, purple skin, disorientation, and a state of constant fatigue. Having worked hard, Angelica had done good work in the eyes of the Order, so she could finally take off the radiation suit and go outside in the sun. She looked forward to the day that Caroline would wake up so she could talk to her. But going up onto the surface after many years, Angelica was shocked. Running into Joseph, she learned of Mother Lucia's true plan, one that she was not aware of, in that she planned to conquer the world and to cleanse it of sin and corruption by awakening Nautilus. Joseph told her to go down to the laboratory and to go down into the depths, and that she would find answers there. However, when returning, Lucia had installed a device in which only people infected with the puppet virus would be able to enter, and this meant that Angelica would not be able to create a cure for the puppet virus. Prior to having Caroline woken up, Lucia ordered Angelica to inject the puppet virus into Caroline, but she instead injected her with a placebo. She was certain Lucia wanted her, Angelica, dead, but she didn't want her to be able to synthesize the cure. And this was true, as Mother Lucia writes about how the puppet virus is complete, and that with the sect under her control and with Nautilus's power at her command, nothing would stand in her way. Angelica would be used for one final task though, and when it was time for Caroline to be woken up after she was transported from cryosleep to the convent, she was to, along with someone else, Sister Miriam, prepare Caroline. It's likely that she was injected and infected with the puppet virus by Lucia. As we saw, she had been infected with the puppet virus prior to her death. And finally, what about the previously mentioned Dr. Nathaniel? In Dr. Nathaniel's third and final entry, he writes that he was the one that whacked Caroline around the head in the caves, and that he placed her in here as it would help her heal faster. He mentions that the diving suit he is wearing is slowly fusing itself to him, so he's unable to take it off. We can find him here in the bunker, dead. Right, so the Order, also referred to in the game as the Sect. I'll assume they're talking about the Pollux sect. Lucia wasn't always a crazy old bint. When in the school, Isabella says that when Lucia arrived in the town, she began to change, as if she'd been corrupted by something, and that of course was the presence of the slumbering Nautilus. According to Joseph, who spent years looking through ancient tomes in the convent's library, he discovered a scroll written in ancient Hebrew, believing it to be a lost chapter of the sacred book of the Nephilim. It spoke of Lucifer, the devil's rebellion in heaven, and how he and his fellow rebellious angels, angry that God had created man and given them dominion over the earth, were cast out of the kingdom of God by the archangel Michael, who sealed them beneath the depths of the earth. Joseph read that God had sent down trusted angels to earth for them to move amongst men, and so Joseph wondered what happened to these angels. Well, these were the Nephilim, and were considered to be of great size and strength. But onto the aims of the cult. At the start of the game, Mother Lucia speaks about Noah having formed a covenant. So What was it that Noah did that formed this covenant? In awakening a vile demon, she puts it, she considered him a disgrace to their order. Lucia, it is revealed here, was convinced that she would be the one to awaken Nautilus, and would use both Caroline and Anna to do so. With the Wildberger sisters on their way, Lucia wrote that the closer they got to Villa Hesse, the more the fallen Nautilus would emanate malevolent energy. Once the Wildberger sisters had arrived at the convent, as we saw, Anna was taken, and then Caroline was placed into cryosleep for 14 years, and this was to freeze Caroline's age so that Anna could catch up with her, so they would once again become identical twins. Lucia wrote about how their arrival caused Nautilus's energy to react to their presence and had corrupted everyone there. Lucia called this a test of faith, but had convinced everyone that Nautilus could only be appeased by the sacrifice of their firstborn children. Every year, according to the gravedigger at the cemetery named Lazaro, the nuns at the convent would carry out a procession where they travel, on their knees, to the tomb of the local legend and founder of the town of Villa Hesse, Pedro Hesse. The nuns carried a candle whilst wearing their black iron masks, and should the candle burn out before they reached the grave of Pedro, they would be expelled from the convent, as they did not have enough faith to make it. As a side note, I pointed out during the plot explanation that the processing plant was called the Wildberger Hesse plant, and this indicates that Bertram Wildberger was likely here at some point in the 20s, and started a business with Dr. Hertz Hesse. Except the plant was a secret headquarters for the cult. Bertram must have then headed back to Canada, carrying the torch for the Pollux sect. At the convent, though, Mother Lucia's brutality would increase. She would utilize her hench sidekick Inquisitor as an enforcer. One of the sisters, their sister Catalina, who was the jailer, had been convinced by Joseph the Warlock to release him, and she was punished with not only 100 lashes, but also that she'd be locked in the freezer for 2 days, with Lucia telling her that if her faith was strong enough, and if she was truly repentant, then she would survive. And she died. Another of the sisters, Sister Elizabeth, was accused of stealing a holy relic, and was taken by the Sister Inquisitor on the orders of Mother Lucia. She'd been burned in the brazen bull as punishment to atone for her sin, again being told by Mother Lucia that if she was truly repentant and had faith, that she would survive the heat and the flames. In terms of the cult, over the next 14 years, the cult members would offer up their children for sacrifice, and this is best seen through the diary of the night guard at the fish plant, called Juan. The first we see of Juan was his picture in the hallway, as he'd been named Employee of the Month. He left multiple diaries around the plant, giving us an insight into his story. It seems that he was part of the cult. His wife was also part of the cult. Hell, the whole fishery, as mentioned earlier, was basically headquarters for the cult, and they revered Mother Lucia. And it appears that they ate children, at the same time wanting to prove their dedication and faith to the sect. It's noted that Mother Lucia ordered the Sister Inquisitor to kill someone called Brother Simon, along with his wife and child on the spot for showing hesitation. Juan was told by Mother Lucia that their eldest, their firstborn Abigail, 10 years old, was next in line to be offered to Nautilus. It does seem that after this, Abigail was sacrificed, and as thanks for this sacrifice, Mother Lucia gave Juan a special mission. One day, when accompanied by the Sister Inquisitor, Lucia asked Juan to place Anna inside one of the cells there and to hide her from the world and to keep her alive. As we saw in the graveyard and from a news report, both Caroline and Anna were declared dead after an accident on a boat. A story fabricated by Lucia. This is why they needed Anna hidden, so as to not arouse any suspicion from the locals. And anger rose up in Juan when he was asked to do this. Not only had he sacrificed his firstborn, but he was also being asked to do more heinous stuff, all for Mother Lucia, who, remember, was viewed as some sort of holy figure. After feeding and looking after Anna, giving her books to read in secret, Juan had learned from her that she wanted to be a writer. And it's right then that he opened her cell and told her to follow him. She did, but giving her a backpack containing food and telling her to flee, she instead refused and told Juan it was her destiny to stay there. It's not really clear what happened to Juan from just playing the game as normal, but remember the 4 fragments of Nautilus's soul. But reading a diary written by Mother Lucia, she writes about how the final fragment was lost. In order to lure this soul fragment to them, they needed a soul full of torment. What better than the anguish of Juan having to sacrifice his firstborn? Transforming his pain and guilt through this act of sacrifice, Juan's love for his daughter turned to pain, and the soul fragment would reside in him, feasting on that negative energy. Therefore, it's safe to assume that Juan became the enemy known as the Harvester. Over time, Lucia and the cult had sacrificed pretty much the entire town to Nautilus, wanting to unleash hell upon the entire world. With that hell being the other side, the suffering of the people of Villa Hesse would feed at the egg of Nautilus, which after 14 years would be hatched as seen at the ending of the game. It just needed the blood of both Wildberger sisters. Those who received the gift of the purple skin, as she put it, would paint the symbol of the all-seeing eye on their dwellings in blood so that they could inherit the new world they would come to create. Joseph mentions that he had worked for Lucia for years in his capacity as a warlock. We see through diary entries that Joseph had an involvement in quite a few of the lives of the townsfolk in Villa Hesse. One in particular was the school janitor Joab, who was a member of the cult, and writes that an old man in a wheelchair, who was Joseph, came to his door asking for a cup of milk. After he drank it, he asked Joab what he wanted him to do for him, to which he replied that his wife cannot have children, and that he wanted above all else a child so that he could be a part of God's sacred plan. He wished for a child to sacrifice. Joseph then pulled out a vial filled with a dark liquid and told Joab to instruct his wife to inhale the liquid through her nose. Hoping that it would work, he gave it to his wife. She took it. However, this child came out deformed. Joab's wife also died giving birth. Despite being bitter that his son had taken his wife's life, Joab committed himself to him. The doctor did Joab a solid though and listed the boy as stillborn so he could leave the hospital with him in secret. This way he could hide him away from the world. 6 years passed and his son has an abnormal and insatiable appetite for meat. Having hidden the boy away inside the school, Joab lets him wander around at night when there's no one there. But one day the boy found a plastic pig mask, and thus Pighead came to be. He would never take the mask off, but eventually Pighead started to eat cats, and he would even eat the bones too. His insatiable appetite would soon turn into a ferocious one as he got older, and Joab would bring him stray cats, but it was never enough. But Joab discovered something that he feared and had been dreading for a long time. He found a bloodstained school uniform. Pighead had been killing children in the school and locking their souls inside inanimate objects, which is why when going to this room, Caroline can see the ghostly apparitions of the deceased children. He would then write about finding one of the teachers there at the school, Miss Teresa, standing in front of the blackboard. She mentions how one of the boys at the school, Martin, the son of the cult member, had been that month's sacrificed to Nautilus. That Joab had also ate of Martin's flesh. Miss Teresa, unable to deal with the grief, then shot herself in the classroom. Miss Teresa would spoke of how Martin would bring her an apple, and with her soul unable to move on, she would sit at her desk waiting for that apple. Joab had to make a decision, and his decision was to kill his son. He planned to do it soon as he was paranoid that Pighead knew what he was planning. He would wait until the perfect time to strike him from behind. It's pretty safe to suggest that Pighead killed Joab. In terms of Joab, his soul was never able to move on, as he needed his son to be killed, hence why he was only able to move on after Caroline had done so. In the mall, we can find a letter. It's addressed to a man known as Zacharias, and here's the man strung up here. We can see that Zacharias has a birthmark on his chest, and this is addressed in a letter written to Zacharias by his partner, Azukina. In it, she says that a warlock, obviously Joseph, had offered him as a sacrifice to the Lord of Decay when he was born, and that upon death, Zacharias' soul would be unable to find his way into the afterlife. That his pain will feed the spawn of darkness, and that he is being watched. That he must leave Villa Hesse. His partner was pregnant. She mentioned a ring hidden inside a certain teddy bear in the arcade machine in the mall as she planned to propose to him. Presenting Zacharias with this ring will allow his soul to find peace, exactly as we saw during the game. A newspaper on a bench outside the train station explains what happened to Azukina. At some point, she died, with it being reported that she had been found hanged in Villa Hesse Cemetery, and signs pointed to the fact that she had been tortured. Since she was tortured, it's implied that Joseph did this to her to maximize her suffering, and this is likely why there are multiple vengeful spirits roaming around the cemetery. He was simply doing the bidding of Mother Lucia, who needed to spread torment, anguish, rage, hatred, fear, and other powerful negative spiritual energy throughout the town so that Nautilus could feed on it, ready for the awakening ritual. To facilitate the 4 monsters, each with part of Nautilus' soul within them, that Caroline would later awaken to kill. Finally, Joseph writes about his dark book in his diary, and as we saw in the game, he learned that the book was being kept within the prison underneath the convent. Lucia had promised him that the powers contained within that dark book. Lucia had promised him the powers contained within that dark book, as he wished to revive someone who meant a lot to him, an Amelia Flores. But Lucia never intended to give the book to him, for good reason. Once Joseph had gotten the book from Caroline, he made his way to Amelia's grave, dug up her body, and began the process of resurrecting her using dark magic. In Joseph's final diary entry, Joseph writes about how Mother Lucia tricked him again, because she had altered the words in his dark book. Instead of resurrecting Amelia, he had unwittingly called out to the dead to take him to hell, which is where he got dragged off to when Caroline encountered him at the station. It turns out that Joseph was controlling Amelia through sores on her skin, which, when inspected by Mother Lucia, were the marks of a warlock. Lucia warned Amelia that this warlock, Joseph, would commit horrible acts. It's considered that Amelia ended her life after what Joseph had put her through, and to escape what he likely would go on to put her through. After he helped Lucia facilitate her calling, she imprisoned Joseph and sentenced him to death, but as we heard earlier, he'd smooth talked one of the sisters, Catalina, into releasing him, resulting in her death, and Caroline later meeting him and delivering his book to him. The best way to look at what happened to Villa Hesse from the perspective of someone who did not really know what was going on is to look at the diaries written by Sister Isabella, Caroline's psychiatrist. After she'd vouched for Mother Lucia, and after she saw them off from the airport back in Canada, the next she heard both Caroline and Anna had perished in a storm after their boat sank. A story fabricated by Lucia. Isabella then travelled to Villa Hesse for the funeral and just stayed. With her ending up working at the school in the town as a children's psychiatrist, she would visit the graves of the sisters every month and would lay fresh flowers there. Mother Lucia, her sister, would go with her and would comfort Isabella despite her knowing full well that Anna was being imprisoned at the plant and that Caroline was in cryosleep underneath the church. Isabella soon noticed that the town was changing. The locals were ill-tempered, and people who worked at the plant, who were irritable at the best of times anyway, were now quicker to anger. Isabella noticed that there was something in the air making people different. She noticed that the children at the school, as young as 6, had anger issues and some were suffering from depression, and that cases were rising. Then children started disappearing, and a worrying trend was emerging. All of the children were around 10 years old. Asking the parents, they would respond with anger and wouldn't want to talk to her about it. Asking the missing children's classmates, Isabella picked up on the fact that every child that had gone missing were being bullied because they stunk of fish. All the children who went missing, well, their parents worked at the fish plant. As we know, this is because the people of the fishery, and most of the town for that matter, were heavily involved with the Pollux sect. 11 years after Caroline and Anna had died, Isabella comments once again on the state of the town, with the sun hardly ever shining through the thick grey clouds, and a thick, foul-smelling fog arriving one morning that has never left. Murder rates have spiked, as have cancer cases. In line with what Isabella mentioned, the public health crisis was emerging. A lot of people were admitted to hospital suffering from nausea and diarrhea, hemorrhages, burnt skin and hair loss. The hospital was completely overwhelmed. Preventative measures were set out by officials who urged people to boil tap water before they drank it and to maintain good personal hygiene. People ended up leaving and moved away, and the ones that did stay there were stubborn ones who didn't want to abandon their home, and the fishery workers who, well, wanted to stay for their own reasons. As we've learned from the game, the town became completely deserted by the time Caroline woke up from her slumber. So what about Miguel? He was actually, from the looks of it, on the run from something. He had retired from the military, it seems, and was tracked down by Colonel Holland. He would receive what he considered a dangerous mission to investigate a ghost town in Chile, which is of course Villa Hesse. Unusually high levels of radiation had been detected in the town, and the colonel suspected nuclear weapons were being manufactured there. The colonel was adamant that this mission was only for him. Miguel writes that his research into Villa Hesse documented classic radiation exposure, hence everyone leaving. Upon asking the colonel why him, the old man pulled out a brown folder, and Miguel instantly accepted this highly dangerous mission. He was sent to retrieve a subject from Villa Hesse as well, and this subject was Sister Isabella. We found out in the story Isabella was Miguel's mother, but he was taken away from her at birth. Upon arriving in a town near to Villa Hesse, he discovered the railway route had been closed off for years by the authorities, and he would repeatedly be warned by locals in the town near to Villa Hesse that he should not go to Villa Hesse, as they saw it as a forbidden place. This also makes sense as to why he was confused when Caroline stated that she'd taken the train there the day before, because Caroline was not aware at that point that she'd been in cryosleep for 14 long years. Arriving in Villa Hesse, Miguel noted a thick fog over the area and the god-awful smell. His bike had randomly stopped working despite having fuel, battery, and with all the components fine too. It did not take very long for Miguel to encounter the locals after he arrived, and by encounter, I mean the group of fishermen with machetes tried to kill him. Anyway, putting them down and checking their bodies, he noticed a strange colour to their skin. He then intensified his search for Sister Isabella. While still in the processing plant, he had noticed a thick and oppressive darkness upon the place. A darkness they described as sticking to his skin like oil. He was then attacked by the creatures that Caroline encountered during her own time there. It was shortly after this that he came across Caroline in the street by the plant. This explains his hostility when he first came into contact with her, because everything and everyone he'd come across already had tried to kill him. But that's it for the story of Tormented Souls 2. An overall enjoyable experience for me. I really do love these types of survival horror games. They take me back to times when I played Resident Evil 2 as a kid. The developers really did nail that particular feel of these types of games in both titles. As mentioned earlier, I'm running a giveaway with 3 Steam keys up for grabs for Tormented Souls 2, so don't forget to enter using the Steam gifts link in the comments. If you enjoyed the
Okay. I'm done with this stream. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.